because if you panic, you're not gonna make good decisions. Settle down, sit down, breathe, and then assess the situation. Okay, as always, in any crisis, you have to trim off the fat and make sure that all of your resources are used properly. So rationalize all of the cost and really understand where we can where we can save more and then build up your cash base.
Hey guys, so we're up again with another entrepreneur for this vlog series. We've been doing a lot of videos during the lockdown because the whole goal of this is for you guys that are not doing anything to use this time to build your skills and pivot. So we have, I really wanted to say the face of Go Negosyo, but ayaw niya. He's the president-elect of the supply chain management of the Philippines. He's also a Go Negosyo mentor. I'll tell you more about his businesses while we are doing the interview. But without much ado, Pierre Curray is with us in the vlog today. Hello.
Hello, everybody.
So, let's start with this. How's your business doing in this era of lockdowns, crisis, and everything? I forgot to mention this. He's widely connected to the logistics industry. And can you tell us more about yourself, Narin?
My name. Well, I said my name, Pierre. We have a logistics company, so it's a family business, XTC Logistics. We also have a tech logistics, tech supply chain startup. Well, it's a perfect synergy because we put tech into our logistics business. So, logistics or transport or trucking or supply chain is actually very good even in crisis, because at the end of the day, it will goods still needs to be transported. So for us, I think our business is still going, but there are some challenges because of the crisis, right? So we have COVID right now, and all of this blocks or checkpoints or roadblocks, which hampers logistics. But we work closely with the association, the Supply Chain Management Association of the Philippines, works closely with government, particularly the DTI, DILG, DOTR, and also the Joint Task Force with AFP and PNP, to ensure that the flow of goods goes unhampered. Because diba, if food or goods are not delivered to each location, it will significantly create problems. Baka magrayot or baka magutom ang tao. Basic essential goods. And on the side of the supply chain, kasi it's not just delivering the goods or the product. You also have to consider yung back end, which is the suppliers, the farmers, diba? Packaging materials. So all of this stuff is in a full supply chain model. So that's something that we do as an association to make sure that the flow of goods, both international and both local, flows smoothly. So that's the job of the association. So in our business naman, we're pushing more in terms of products. So any products that we're moving around. Most of our clients are large FMCGs. Particularly Unilever, Nestle, Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola, URC, JG. So far now, our business is still moving because what we're moving are essential goods. So we also have businesses that are non-essential, but because it's like a tertiary part of the supply chain that it is needed by the suppliers. So it's not directly connected to the end product, but because if you look at the whole supply chain holistically, it's still part of it. So that's our business.
Before I go with other questions, so since you are in this industry, I see a lot of opportunity in this moving forward, because there will be a lot of online selling happening in the next 5-10 years. If I'm a person who wants to enter this industry and there's a lot of players already, is there still an opportunity? And what if there's a suggestion on what area they could specialize on, pwede pa ba?
Logistics is always an opportunity. For our business, we've gone through a lot of challenging times. Did you call it challenging? It's not even bad. We've gone through Yolanda. We've gone through the 2007, 2008 crisis, the 1997 crisis, 2000.com, all of that affects the economy. But goods are still being transferred. So logistics is it's a continuous business. It never lacks. But to compete, to become, to be able to survive, you have to be technology. You have to be very innovative in your processes. You have to find solutions on how to serve the customers better. Just for example, there's a lot of last mile deliveries because, like you said, e-commerce is becoming a big thing, and in fact, e-commerce is still takes only a portion of all sales in the Philippines. I think less than. Other study shows that less than 5% or less than 2% compared to China, which is 32%, compared to the US, which is 20%, something like that. But for us, it's very minuscule. But with all of that's happening now, the growth of e-commerce is gonna become faster. So anything that serves e-commerce, that can be technology, that can be last mile, that can be also first mile, warehouses. That's the different sectors that an entrepreneur can start with. So normally when we started this, we started with a few trucks and then grew to become to handle hundreds of trucks for our customers. So for those who want to start, they start maybe with one truck and then manage it and then learn and then put technology in it so that they can be competitive. Because now the demand is going to a technology-enabled logistics.
Wow, amazing. So just to get everything, there's opportunity, but since there's a lot of players already, they have to be very, very different and they have to be ahead of the curve of technology.
Yes.
Now, we are in lockdown, and I've been asking a lot of entrepreneurs this. I want people who are watching this to get a lot of ideas from you guys. Since a lot of people are not earning, a lot of businesses are not earning, and some of them, I've been getting a lot of messages. If this drags on 2 to 3 months pa that we're on lockdown, some of them may not have enough cash to keep the business afloat. If you were in that situation, what would you do, or what would you advise these businesses? So siguro we can make it as broad. You can make it specific or you can make it broad, but probably retailers, restaurants, sarado sila, or even services events are down, walang weddings, walang conferences, so they're also hit So your cash strapped, what will you do?
Now that's a very challenging moment for any entrepreneur, and all entrepreneurs will go through that, especially when you've been in this game for a long time. It's not always a straight line going up. There are years that is down, there's years up. So this is an example of years that is going to be down. Unfortunately, everybody is getting hit by this type of problem. So, for example, in our businesses, we had experienced na talagang losses for a year, and really it's challenging to get payroll. It's really challenging to just make ends meet. But in this time that everything's in lockdown, it actually is the best time to think about the business, check the values, and looking at on how to go to recovery. Like what I said, what I shared yesterday for another interview is that all of the big players, they're already thinking of recovery, because this too shall pass. What we need to do now is to understand completely, talk to your team, and then tell your team, this is a situation not affecting only me, but not only all of us, but also our customers. So the best thing to do is to really hunker down and then support each other, and let's see how we can get through this together. That's the only way you can survive it. Having the strength of the team together is really how we can survive this type of trouble. So like they said, it's going to be a big challenge, but working with the team closely and having a chance to talk together, pero via video call. So pa naman, community quarantine. So but talk together like what I do. I talk to the team and then assure them that this too will pass. Let's just work together, and then plan out already what's gonna be your recovery plan. Because there will always be a recovery. Let's say it's going to be after 1 month or after 2 months, but there will be a recovery. And when you plan that recovery, you will be jumping off the gates. Not even a running start. You'll be jumping off the gates. Everybody starts is just going to start planning. Okay, recovery na tayo, di ba? But if you're already planning now pa lang, you'll be way ahead of your competition. Diba? So that is what I advise at this time that is lockdown. In fact, I read somewhere that most of the great works of the great composers, the great scientists, found their eureka moment when they were isolated. So this is a great time. I'm sure out of this, there's gonna be a boom of great innovations. Kasi dito pa lang, they'll be able to reflect and understand their business and what are the goals and the values so that they can bring that innovation when the boom time comes.
If money's not also coming in, the best thing that they can do is to lessen their expenses at this time. What do you suggest are the first things that they should look into in order to trim whatever expenses that they have as well?
You really have to manage expense. So there's some leeway now that some rents are being waived or some costs are being waived. So that will alleviate. But like what was mentioned yesterday, a lot of the cost is coming really for manpower, right? So the people. So what I would recognize, I would adhere for management is to let's support our people. Diba? They're also going through a hard time. We should manage our costs, but at the same time, I suggest we can also as the employees are a responsibility. We have to also try to find ways to support them, because I think it was going to be way harder for them than us. So manage costs, find ways where we can trim. We can do a lot of video calls. We can do a lot of work from home. So we can really reduce all of the costs. And then hopefully if also the team would be willing to cut some of their pay with the reduced cost, which can help the company to survive, diba? Like what I said earlier. Because if everybody comes together, hopefully find ways to solve a solution. If the cost is too high here, maybe we can reduce or maybe we can move it forward. And then that's the time that together we can really stand. It's not, I believe it's not only going to be one person or one company or the owner only could make the company survive. It's really a collective effort of the whole team.
Galing. That's why you're so good eh. That's why... After this, guys, there will be no more vlogs na. This will be it already. Para you just have Pierre's video na forever. Next question is this. If I'm an employee naman, or I'm a freelancer, or I'm a person that's disrupted in all of this, kasi sarado, probably wala akong sweldo, or there are a lot of people who's yung gig economy, editors, photographers, wedding coordinators, etc. Since there's literally nothing happening, they're not making money. What do you suggest at this time that they should actually do, since they can't go out? What's the best way for them to also make money, or at least provide for the needs of their family while life is not yet back to normal?
Normally, when I do mentoring for Go Negosyo, I always tell mentees that you always have to have a battle fund, or what I call parang survival fund, kasi we don't know what happened. So you have like a safety stock. In logistics, they call it safety stock or buffer stock. That if times of crisis like this, you have like a pool where you can get from. So sometimes 1 month. It can be cash, it can be inventory, but you have to have something that will tide you through it. So that's what I always suggest. So, but now that we are in this, there's always ways to tighten the belt, or to find ways to survive. So I've talked to a couple of entrepreneurs that they're doing some vlogs. For example, a photographer is doing some online training, but they look at innovation. They use Zoom to do classes. In fact, later my daughter is going to be going into a class pala. So they do they stream it, and then they teach, and then it's a lively experience. So just imagine, so the income for them is still there. Also, this is the time to actually learn new things, learn how to become a better business person in your industry. So maybe for me, I've been doing a lot of learning for sales, right? So initially, I thought I was a good sales guy, but when every time I learn, especially now that there's COVID, it allowed me to learn more, understanding the sales process, the sales mindset. So and I know by that when this ends, I can do that. Jumping off the gates when it's time to recovery, then I can start already applying what I've learned, right? So and then creating plans for our company how to go global. So for our technology company, we're looking at going global, how we can sell our product, our tech product, outside of the Philippines. So and then how we're gonna market it, how we're gonna how are we gonna code it, how are we gonna produce it, diba? So those are the things that we're still doing now as a team, and it's very challenging because there, for an owner, for an entrepreneur, you have payroll to think, you have your family to think, so you have a double whammy actually. You have two families that you need to help and in order to survive, because in your minds, your family is very important, but your employees are also important, right? So you have to think of both ways. So this is where innovation comes, and this is where how the problem solving minds of entrepreneurs will happen. So just like I said, just trim the excess expenses, and then just gather, like what I said, when I told my family, okay, this is a lean time, let us just wala muna non-essentials, let's just focus, nasa bahay lang naman tayo, then let's spend time together, and then let's do a lot of learning. So that's something that we're doing, so that it never stops, kasi there's no point wallowing in with all the problems. Nothing's going to happen. You have to change your mindset that you will be able to survive, and everybody does. This too shall pass. And then we have to already think on how to recover.
While you were talking, I thought of two questions. Number one, essential, non-essential, mother-in-law.
Ay, super essential yung mother-in-law ko eh. Kasi lang wala na si mother-in-law eh. Pero super essential yun.
Second question, you talked about sales, no? Baka there's a lot of people who want to learn more about sales about this. And I asked this to a lot of entrepreneurs. Yeah. How will you sell this phone to me?
What's your business? That's the first thing I ask. Hey, what do you do?
Oh,
so if you...
Okay, kunyari, I'm a, I don't know, I'm a photographer.
You're a photographer. If you want to earn money, use your mobile phone to take pictures faster. Because if you don't take pictures faster, if you need to take it out from your bag, then you lose the moment. Then you're not gonna earn.
Okay. Guys, Pierre Curray is the Mark Cuban of the Philippines.
No,
that's the closest parallelism I can think of. Anyways, so I like what you said, no, that you use this time to pivot, kasi some people in the midst of the crisis, dito sila nakaharap, how do I get out of this?
Exactly.
They're not looking at what's happening, what could possibly happen after.
Exactly.
I think we're in the second week of the lockdown. Say
yes.
This lockdown ends in a month. I don't know if it's gonna end in a month, because I think it will be based on the data that they will get in terms of what happens to the cases. But should this drag on, what should be the battle plan of every entrepreneur? Say it goes to 2 months, 3 months. What should they do?
I think what they should do now is really conserve their resources, right? So, like what I said earlier, collaborate with your team and tell them, okay, what can we do to survive? If you're short with resources, let's ask them what we can do to survive. If the entrepreneur is capable naman, then they can continue. It's better to continue with the salaries of your team, so that because they would need it a lot more. So, but as always, in any crisis, you have to trim off the fat and make sure that all of your resources are used properly. So rationalize all of the cost, and really understand where we can save more, and then build up your cash base, speed up your cash flow requests for your customers. I know there's some customers that might be difficult to be paying right now, but just ask. There's nothing wrong to ask, and if they pay, then reserve it, conserve it again, diba? Because anyone who survives a crisis is poised to become 100 times stronger. Unfortunately, there's still a lot of entrepreneurs or a lot of businesses are just wallowing, are just like, nakakasarado lang yung mata nila na hanggang dito na lang tayo, ano magagawa natin. But for those because this is the great crisis is actually what we call the great equalizer, di ba? So it equalizes yung sobrang yaman sa sobrang di ba? It's not everybody will have a chance now. Because, and especially with like what we are moving, moving into technology and innovation. That's the way we are doing it. So we're conserving our resources and then investing in people, investing in technologies, investing in that solves an actual pain point. So that's how we're managing the resources. Actually, for entrepreneurs naman, when you look at it, hindi naman palaging good times You always have to manage every crisis di ba? So the crisis depends lang, it's either big or small. But if you notice, especially the entrepreneurs has been there for a long time, they will tell you, normal yan Actually, when we were talking with some co-negosyo we call the big brothers, di ba? Yung matatagal na si negosyo, talagang sobrang lalaki na ng business nila. They always say, they just encourage us. So sabi nila, normal yan. It happens. Ganyan talaga nangyari. Save lang tayo. Keep your resources so that you have resources when the recovery comes, you can start buying. You can say, mura pa lahat, bili ka. Same with stocks, di ba? Now everything is cheap. So you have to be ready to buy. So ako, nag-iisip na ako ng mga mukhang, actually sabi ko nga sa post mo I'm already salivating. Sabi ko, ang mura nung lahat I'm just waiting for it to reverse. So that's where I am right now.
Okay. Actually, when you're talking about crisis being the great equalizer, feeling ko pantay na tayo from here si Carlo bumaba ng batas. Nagkaroon na ako ng pangyaman sa buhay. Parang ganon. But you're talking about stocks, no? As of now, Ayala's been amazing. From 19 intraday drop, nag-31 siya, halos 31 today.
Oh, wow.
Up more than 50% in a week, something like that.
Wow.
You had some amazing points about what they're supposed to do. I have a question lang, that if they want to prioritize how they can get money, what do you suggest? Number one, they sell assets in the company in order to raise cash. Number two, they borrow, they get funding. Or number three, I'm the owner, I'll use my personal money pang salo sa negosyo. In terms of hierarchy or priority, what do you suggest?
It depends kasi on the entrepreneurs. Some entrepreneurs believe like, they use their own money para wala silang utang. Diba? I adhere to both because I always call there's a good debt, there's a bad debt. Debt is actually part of the business. Most of the companies can grow with debt. So what we do is, but you have to rationalize, diba? You only get debt to, if there's a potential to grow the business, the potential to double your money with the business that you have, diba? And then if the risk is too high, I would suggest use your own money na pwede mong na you can put it in higher risk na investment sa business mo, and then see kung grow it from there. For example, for us, ours is a technology startup. So when you build technology, it's very expensive compared to logistics, diba? And the payback is actually future. So we're rationalizing, we're managing our resources, and then investing in that one, looking at the future to we know that when it's already built, we can already sell it. So that's what we're doing. So it depends on the entrepreneur, on the types of risk. Kasi syempre, you as much as possible, you want to hold assets. You can sell assets, but you as much as possible, you want to hold assets, right? And then conserve cash, and then rationalize a project. If this project, if it's too risky, you can use your money, and then grow it from there. But if your risk is tama lang, then you can take on debt. Diba? It depends on the company. But like what I said, if you have the capability to fund it your own, at least you keep it, the shares, all of the income will be with you. But like I said again, also, debt is still good when you are going to grow your company.
It really depends on who you are as an entrepreneur and how you want to.
Yes,
I guess the level of risk that you're looking at. Siguro just
yes,
before we end, no, in your exposure to trade and what's happening, how do you think this impacts our economy as a whole? Who will come out as the winners in all of these sectors, industries, and then who will be on the losing end?
Based on the conversations that I had, in mentor and from our big brother mentors, they call it now the normal abnormal. So everything is gonna change. The world is gonna turn upside down. For us, for our business, we've been doing a lot of for our technology business. We've been doing a lot of remote work from home, remote work for doing our technology, and using Zoom, using Google Meets, Skype has been very good for us for the past 2 years, and it's very effective for us. Actually, what's happening now is normal for us. We actually used to working already from home with the team itself, right? So, but with this situation where everybody's back, it creates a new paradigm. They would see that, okay, so the work from home is actually effective. Then the rise of Zoom. That's why Zoom is zooming, right? The stock price of Zoom is very high right now.
So, I didn't. Is it listed? I didn't know Zoom is a listed company, pala.
Zoom is a listed company. That's the billion-dollar company that I follow. I think one of the only ones that I really follow. They got listed, I think, 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
Wow.
They're the only unicorn that got listed that is profitable.
Wow.
So, sila yung idol ko pagdating sa tech startup.
Wow.
So that's what I'm trying to accomplish naman for our tech startup, di ba? In the likes of Google, Microsoft Teams, all of the online thing, it's really gonna be the next parang paradigm shift, kasi makikita natin, okay, this is good na we can, working from home is actually effective pala, kasi di ba the fear before is, naku, paano natin managing productivity, baka matutulog lang yan every time. But in fact, it actually for us, if you ask me honestly, because of this COVID, I've had twice as much meetings that I would have on a regular day because of the calls, diba? Madaling mag-connect. Can we do a call 1 o'clock? Can we do a call 2 o'clock? So it shows that it's effective. The second one, it will also change the landscape of retail, diba? Ngayon, e-commerce is slowly changing the retail scene, but because of this, it's gonna exponentially fast track the importance of e-commerce. So in fact, Amazon is doing quite well, not as perfect, but their demand is very high. They're already saying that because of the high demand of online buys, they're having a hard time fulfilling their premium service, their Amazon one-day service, right? Because of the super high demand. In fact, just to give another example, my daughter has an online store. They sell organic non-GMO seeds for farmers, for urban gardeners. They source their seeds outside of the Philippines because it cannot be found here, and their supplier is even having a hard time sending the supplies to us because the demand became 10 times to 20 times. So they're having a hard time fulfilling. That means the value of e-commerce is getting bigger. In fact, my daughter's business suddenly increased in the past 2 months, almost 3 months, because of everybody wants to go online and purchase. So the no touch, no contact policy. So for retailers, it is time to really go e-commerce. Make your site e-commerce ready. There's a lot of tech companies that can help to convert your mom and pop shop into an online store. And then there's also a lot of infrastructure already ready. The last mile, the likes of the last mile delivery that can connect to your shopping site. in fact, my daughter's site is just a Facebook store. That's all, Facebook page. And then she's able to grow her business exponentially. So that's where I think the main disruption is gonna be happening.
Before we end this, what's the name of your daughter's store? Para guys, please. Please,
yes.
How old is your daughter?
My daughters are 14 and 12. They've been doing this for 3 years already. So
what's the
their
name?
store is Curative City Farms. So you can check the Facebook page at City Farms Philippines. So you can just search it there.
Totoo ako. Biri mo, at 12 years old, I have a business. Kung alam ko lang yun, ako, promise, hindi na ako magka-college. Kung nagbe-business ako ng 12, hindi na ako magka-college.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm teaching them now, because I would like in the next 5 years, when I go to Europe, I ask for allowance from them. Diba? When we're in Europe, bro, we just call our daughter. Yung allowance namin.
Okay. I'm sure a lot of people learned a lot from this. But to close, any final words for people right now that and I've been asking this question all the time to a lot of the people who are part of the video. A lot of people are scared, a lot of people are panicking, a lot of people are depressed, either sarado negosyo, hindi nila, walang job security, or bagsak plainly yung stocks nila or yung mutual funds nila. Any words of encouragement, advice for them? And kung gusto mo na rin sabihin, baka sobrang yaman mo, pwede mo na rin nadagdag doon.
Hindi naman. So, I'm gonna reiterate what our big brothers shared with us with Go Negosyo and the other big entrepreneurs. No? What the primary thing that they said is that do not panic, because if you panic, you're not gonna make good decisions. Settle down, sit down, breathe, and then assess the situation. Okay, and then when you reflect and assess the situation, you will find ways to solve the problem. Maybe sige, wag muna tayo mag-aircon na 24 hours. Di ba? So, or yung ref natin, sigurado natin na hindi natin palagi bubuksan. Or we make sure that the cost for groceries. So, wag muna tayo gumastos sa mga chips, di ba? So, focus muna tayo. So, things like that. Find ways, and then where you can cut and then save. And everything in life, this too will pass. That's what I remember. In any difficult or circumstance that I encountered, this phrase that this too shall pass actually helps me, because I would always focus at the end. Okay, 2 months from now or 1 month from now, everything will be going down. So everything will go back to normal. So I have to be ready for that. Better to be ready. Think of the future, so that when you get there, you'll be running off the gates, jumping off the gates, not just waiting again. Okay, what will I do? So now, focus, reflect, do not panic, and then set a plan for recovery.
In Tagalog, ang this too shall pass, parang lang yan dito. Lilipas din yan.
Lilipas din yan. Lilipas din yan. Baka healthy pa ngayon.
But last na lang, do you suggest,
Sige.
you talked about saving, bawasan yung nakain. Since everyone's work from home, out of 7 days, ilang beses na lang dapat maligo?
Hindi, ngayon dapat maligo araw-araw kasi COVID eh.
Okay.
Kailangan araw-araw. Hindi, tsaka dapat maligo ko araw-araw para pag nakita tayo ng mga wives natin, honey, embrace tayo kaagad. Ikaw naman, di ba? Ganun lang yun.
I hope you guys got a lot from Pierre Curray. If they want to get in touch with you or do business with you in the future, how can they do? How can they reach you?
Yeah, they can email me at pierre.curray at insightses.com. I can leave it there. You can also connect to me via Facebook. If you have questions, you can ask me via Messenger. It's Pierre Carlo Curray. And for those who want to learn more in supply chain also, please like and visit our page at Supply Chain Managing Association of the Philippines. You will get updated in what's happening in the current logistics supply chain infrastructure, and then how we are working with the government to improve the cargo flow. Kasi ang dami nagtatanong eh. So I would always point them, okay, this is the situation now, this is how we improved it. So that, if you're a farmer who's katulad ang one of the major problems is the goods coming from, farms getting back here. So that's something that we're solving also to ensure that there is constant supply.
Galing. So, yun, if you want to know more about Carlo, he gave you all of the details. Just contact him as well. And then, para maging kasing yaman tayo ni Pierre, Carlo Curray as well.
sana. Sana pati ako rin kasi kasing yaman ng sarili ko.
I hope you guys got a lot from this. And I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys. And God bless you all. Bye-bye.